Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 16th episode of The Treat Show. We have OG Tyler in the studio tonight, of course, and we have a special guest, Sam from the Grow Off.
What's going on, Sam?
You did.
There we go.
There you go.
I'm here. Hello. Thanks for having
me. We're so excited. We have another little boss babe in the industry crushing out there.
Hell yeah.
I feel it is such a pleasure to see you, Sam, and thank you so much for coming on tonight. I want to talk about your event that you have, even though it's a little bit far out from where we're at, is I want to get people pumped and get more people involved if we can.
Yeah, I want that too. And we're actually not that far out. We're starting a national hemp competition that anyone from all 50 states can join. And those cones go out in 10 days. So this is really awesome.
So can you explain the grow off process to me? Because that's something I'm not necessarily familiar with. So,
Yeah, I mean, we're based here in Denver. We've been doing this since 2016, and we started this the same year. The state was like, "Hey, high times, get your butts out of here." And so we looked at lab testing and had talked to so many farmers about like, this is how I've always wanted to do a competition, and thus the Grow Off is born. And it's the purpose of it is to showcase cultivation talent at its best. And the way that it works is we work with breeders in various states, and they give us cuts from the same mom. So we're evening the playing field. And then they can grow it however they like, indoor, outdoor, your best nutrients. You can try new ones, however you want to do it. And then they submit to the same lab for testing. And that's how we determine our winners. So we're looking for who grows the most total terpenes and total cannabinoids from that same plant.
Wow, that's awesome. That's a real different model than any type of thing that I've ever heard,
Yeah, it's probably because it's logistically insane.
Well, can you expand on that a little bit, Sam? Because it is really impressive. I went to your last event in Vegas, and I know that there's so much time that goes into this behind the scenes that nobody would ever really imagine, but like just scheduling and booking these locations and being able to like advertise without being caught advertising and like
it's one thing after another. Yeah. I mean, we rely heavily on like amazing breeding partners or genetic partners getting clean, healthy clones to 50 to 100 people per state is like no small feat. So I'm so grateful for them in each of our, THC states. And then we have a hemp partner, again, that'll be sending these nationwide. But I mean, from a logistical standpoint, you have corralling growers to show up to a place in a time and fill out a form to pick up their plant. And then follow instructions in terms of getting the sample to the lab on time. And yeah, it's a lot of, like I said, logistical hoops. But I have a great project manager that's on the team that helps me get it all done. My husband Jake helps out. And like I said, the genetic partners that we work with are top notch, just because you have to be to get homogenized clones out in a timely manner.
I mean, how does that work too? Because I know a lot of growers are iffy about giving and also receiving things. So, like, how do you manage that? Like, how do you keep people happy?
OG Tyler, you've been in the industry long enough. No one's always going to be happy.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so there's two sides of that, right? So we need to work with breeders that are excited to get their gear into the hands of 50 to 100 people to test it out. Because at the end of this, they all get a strain report where we take their cultivation data, relate it to their test scores, and try to draw some like correlations between what's working best for that cultivar. And then on the other side, how do we get growers to trust the process? I mean, we've gone through the ringer in terms of IPM shit. Oh, can I curse on this?
Yeah, you're good.
But yeah, I mean, I think we're at a point now in the industry, and we have our checks and balances on our end where the breeders have to pass pathogen testing. they have to do a pest scan on their plants. And then we tell the growers, quarantine your plants for at least a week or two, practice your IPM practice on them. But I'm starting to feel like the industry has moved to a place where most people know that. When we started this, they kind of didn't. And we're just like, oh, here's a new clone. Let's throw it in the garden. And it's like, oh, no, don't do that. But doing this for 7 years, you build up trust and those folks come back. And but yeah, it's been a long road.
Wow.
What was it that got you to, really create this, and like the very first kind of idea behind how you got this started?
So I actually started in the industry right out of college. I was interning for a guy doing like data entry stuff in college, and he turned to me one day and was like, "Hey, I want to start a seed company." And I knew like nothing about the cannabis industry. This was 2009. And my job was to like open accounts all over the state of Colorado. I even tried the Way to Grow guys will tell you like, yeah, this like little blonde girl walked in and tried to sell us seeds in a hydro store. What the hell? But I got to meet all the like OGs from Colorado and make a great connection and network there. And so, when 2016 rolled around and there was an opening to have a competition, with lab testing for the first time, that was kind of what sparked it. So kind of from seed to, a big competition with testing.
I love that. I've actually worked, Corey, the owner of Way to Grow, not anymore, but he's actually my neighbor. But I've worked directly for them also on manufacturing and design for their commercial end. And when they just did their remodel in their stores in the last couple of years. But I think that there's such a prevalent company here in Colorado because they have stayed local and they have been in the game forever. They've had legal suits and battles just as much as I think everybody else. And I think it's really cool that, to make a connection like that and be pushing seeds as a female so long ago is so rare.
I didn't grow them. I just sold them, but and
impressive.
interestingly enough, can't I like technically Way to Grow could sell seeds now, right? Because of like DEA Farm Bill stuff, they're not cannabis now.
Yes, I mean seeds wise is I think everybody's kind of in the safe zone. Which is like you said, testing wise, or they've just because it doesn't have any THC technically in them, but
yeah,
I think. I don't know. What were you gonna say?
Do you remember the very first grow off? Do you remember like maybe what strain that you guys did or?
Oh my gosh, race what race fuel?
Okay.
Yeah.
Dang.
Oh god, if you ask me all of them, I'm gonna have trouble. We've done 30 of them, so
30? Jeez.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Is there a particular like protocol that you have with like choosing your breeders? Like what makes you choose a particular breeder to run their genetics for the event?
Yeah, so I mean, a good following is always helpful just for getting the word out about a new state or a new breeder partner that we're working with. But then you can run into like, but they're kind of an asshole and I don't have time for that. So we also work with folks that don't have a huge following that I just believe in and want to see them on a bigger stage. Like we have our first female genetics partner this year in Michigan. She's from Tang Farms, Erin, but she works, you might know her via Brent from Flour Mill.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's been breeding forever in Michigan. And finally we have our first, like I said, female partner. And I post about her on our timeline and people are like, who is this coming into our state? Some newbie, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, she's been doing this forever. She's like born and raised in Michigan, like step off, try her gear, put up or put out.
That's incredible. I think that's one thing that women, they have kept. I was just talking to a friend of ours today about that is like, I think at one point in time they try to keep female growers or things on the DL and like kind of behind the scenes. But in Michigan particularly is my parents wired one of the first commercial grows there and I did consulting on a project out there, Sticky Buds, which is owned by a female. And it's really cool that they seem to have like more of a female kind of, I don't know, female dominant little spark out there compared to any other state I've seen.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing more and more diversity in the folks that participate. We're trying to continue that trend. We do like a social equity grant on the application fee so that we can see different people wearing our wrestling belts when they win and get some more folks in there winning those.
Dang, that's awesome.
That is awesome.
Who are some of the names of breeders that you've worked with?
Sure. So Dark Horse is one we've worked with in Colorado. California, we worked with Wonderland and Kevin Jodry for a while, and then also Humboldt Seed Company and Hendrix, Nerds Genetics in Oklahoma, Fat Cat Seeds in Massachusetts, Bangladesh in Maine. Who was our? And Fresh Coast Seed Company in Michigan.
Wow.
Ooh.
Man, you guys have a lot of people. That's so cool.
Yeah, Sam, the location that you guys used in Vegas is what is that company again? That
Green Bros. They make trimming equipment and harvesting equipment.
little trim machines. Are you familiar with Emoji, Tyler?
No.
It's a really good company actually. Is the Adam Dunn Show is sponsored by them, and they really do a good, I don't know, for trimming equipment. Like it actually does quality trim jobs on the bud, and it's like super easy to clean.
So I got a question for you really quick. So say that you are using a breeder, a breeder from, I don't know, like say California. Now, would you, is it an event that you would host in a certain, like in that same spot where the breeder is, or do you just pick a different place, or how does that work?
Are we talking the clone drop or the awards?
The awards.
So historically, we did state by state award ceremonies. So
Okay.
at our max, I did 5 in 1 year.
Golly.
Wow.
Yeah, and then last year we had 8 states. So I said I can't travel. There's not enough weekends in the year to do all of this. So that's what JLo was talking about. We brought everybody together for this giant award ceremony in Vegas during MJ Biz, and we actually told the top 3 in each category, hey, you might win something, you should come out. And we had like 300-400 growers show up, and from Hawaii all the way to Maine. So it was just this like gathering of people that are super passionate about growing, and they made like business connections and out like with other states, right? Where they never met each other. It was super cool.
Dang. And then so getting the clone drop, how does that work? Is it like, do people just have to come get them? Type of thing. Like, how does?
I like to say it's like corralling kittens, like
Yeah.
these girls are like, I want to participate. And so we continually update and like try to automate our systems to walk them through the process. But basically they sign up on our website, they get like a calendar link on like where the clone drops are in their state. And then they'll go and actually meet the breeder and get the clone from the breeder this year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, for the most part, like 90% of the states.
That's sick.
It's really cool. So sorry. Please continue, Sam.
Oh no, go ahead.
I just think it's really cool that you're picking these breeders and giving them a chance to like where you are getting the breeders cut, which is rare, but like these guys are actually amped to do it. Like they want it out. They want people running it, and I don't know, like even to be able to see the different techniques of how people are actually cultivating these like these strains, and kind of the variety that comes from just the kind of their little signature touches. Like I think you could see it in the last competition so much of, I don't know, it's just really cool to see the same cut look so differently and taste so differently, and you actually know that this is the breeder's cut, but just how much alteration goes into it when it really comes down to the grower.
Yeah, it's wild how different they all look when the samples come in. man, we do these posters where we like take pictures of the nugs and show how like varied they are. And it's truly wild knowing that they all came from the same mom, that like indoor outdoor lighting changes things. It's a grower once said to me, like, the grower is the phenotype. It's not really like the lights or the newts, it's like the person. And I truly kind of believe that now after doing this for so long.
Yeah,
No, that's true.
I can't even imagine. And seeing different states and just, I don't know, you get to see it all. Love it.
When was your first like experience with cannabis as far as like smoking it?
I think it was like a shotgun at senior week in high school.
Oh dang.
I feel like that was the way to do it. If you were a girl, you were like, "Get over here, baby." And then it wasn't that fierce either. You know what's so funny though? It's like it wasn't as fierce as like if you go to hit like a pipe or something. I felt like it was like too harsh then.
Yeah, and that was Pennsylvania, so I'm sure it was crap.
Dang. And then so you moved from Pennsylvania to come to school in Boulder?
Yeah.
That's sick. You just
And then
knew that.
obviously that was a whole cannabis experience in and of itself.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Wow.
That's cool though that you were like, "Hey, I'm getting over to this spot, like cuz at that time it was still I don't know, it was a little bit different than how it is now.
Yeah, I mean, and I won't say that the shotgun made me apply to CU, right? It
Right,
was
no.
just being related. And yeah, and then going to the first like 420 and on, what is it, Folsom Quad or
Yeah, on the
whatever,
quad, yeah.
where I whited out for the first time. That was wild. It's like, I'm not supposed to do this.
Dude, yeah. It's wild. I mean, they don't do that anymore, so it's like, it's an experience that only like a group of people got to, do.
Yeah, I think Sam, do you think it was hard when you were first organizing this and like as a female, like do you think that people took you seriously like when you would come in at first and like I don't know, I don't want to say like give your pitch, but like you're extremely professional in the way that you carry yourself and all those things and I just wonder like lady to lady if you ever ran into any obstacles like when you came to like booking a place or raising capital or I don't know, just getting people to honestly listen, like just listen to what you're asking or needing them to do.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, we were fortunate that my husband, Jake, was the pop critic for the Denver Post, like leading up to launching the Grow Off. So we had like the dude approval, the street cred, et cetera. But I mean, in terms of challenges, sure. Like, Jake kind of helped me like, or helped them feel like I was cool or whatever to talk about this stuff. But the biggest challenge I think I run into is like you brought up capital raise. Like we run this on sponsorship. Obviously, this year is as difficult as it's ever been.
Yeah.
I talk to the CEOs of the companies that get, they spend $500,000 at MJ Biz. And I'm like, how many growers are you actually meeting? And like, I just hit this wall sometimes where it's like, well, you have to buy the big booth at the big trade show. I'm like, but there's a better, like, you probably made so many great connections at our party, JLo. Like, I don't think you do that at MJ Biz anymore, or if you ever did.
Yeah, you're right. Like when you get too busy of an event and too big of an event, like period. Like when you go to MJ BizCon or any like CanadaCon, I mean any of these events, like it's almost like overstimulating and like so much of a sales pitch now. Like we're back in the day, like everybody was actually smoking weed and like you were talking about shit, they were selling shit, but it was like way different. Now I think it's like so in your face and it's almost like to me it just comes off like the I don't even know, like the Bro Boys Club or something like that. It's like kind of a weird vibe now. But I think like versus your event was like intimate, but you have all the right people there. Like you do have the breeders, you do have like the right brokers, the right people business wise. That I think if you really want these to be valuable encounters. I think both ways, like for your people coming there, like obviously, but even I don't know, you are putting them in a spot for success where you want everybody to leave with something more than just another cannabis competition, and I don't mean that downplaying this, but like the way that you've made the infrastructure from top to bottom is really thorough with making this worth everybody's time, you know, and special.
Yeah, the way we look at it is like these farmers don't leave their farms, right? I mean, they're not going to these trade shows. They're coming out to see if they won an award, but that's the most we can ask of them. And so that's why we try to go over the top when we throw parties, because it's like, my personal goal every time we do something is I want one person to say that was the best night of my life. That was the best cannabis event I've ever been to. And
Mm.
I'm like batting 1,000 on that so far. So knock on wood.
Sam had a freaking rock wall, like a climbing rock wall.
The theme was we did so many states around the country. So I don't know if you picked up on that, but we tried to pick one thing from every state. So the rock wall was like the Rocky Mountain climb. I know
That's
it
cute.
got a little lost in translation, but we did have a 30-foot rock wall inside.
People could climb it or what?
You could
Oh
go
yeah.
it.
Stop.
That's what I'm saying.
That's wild.
I feel like Sam, when you went to pick like even the food and like I love how you had like a bar, and I know people hate hearing this in cannabis sometimes, but like honestly I do like a cocktail, which pretty sure everybody knows, but I think that it was nice that it like was an adult fun feel though. It's like, and I hate to sound like that, but it was like still classy where like you didn't have to go pick up fast food or something to go to this event or like go rushers that like it was like everything was there that you really would want or need. You could like bring a date or have like a group friend setting, and it was like laid out really like nice for like actually conversating, and like I don't know, it was a very nice event.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I want to expand that breeder section that you were in, because that was like a huge hit. All the growers were so stoked to hang out with you all. So I want to have all the breeders that we are currently working with, but then invite others, because it's in a sense it's like you get to meet your heroes. Some of these growers have been idolizing these folks, and like definitely want to make that a bigger presence this year.
It's so true. And Sam, like I know that we touched on testing a little bit earlier, but I kind of want you to expand on that though, because I think it is really cool that you're being particular, you're looking out for the home grower and the breeder, like honestly both ways, where like you want this to be, if a person receives a healthy plant, it's going to be successful for them to run and show off this product for the competition. But if something is even like dormant in a plant, say like where nothing's flared and like you wouldn't be able to identify if there was a problem, like going the extra mile just to make sure, I think is really, it's something that people have to know that you're doing, because it's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they all the breeders have to pass their pathogen tests in order to participate, and then we have to work with a whole different set of labs to do the testing at the end. And it's still wild to me that after doing this for 7 years, Colorado is still the only state that we work in that will not test homegrown material. I mean,
Such
it's
BS.
just bonkers.
It really is. It's unfortunate that like I found a lab that will do home grow recently, and I think it's because they're slipping it under the rug right now, honestly. But it's unfortunate that this is like the rebelling outside now, though. Is somebody
Yeah.
like rebelling out to like offer their service to a home grower, because it is important if you're like, I mean, sick, honestly, and using this product as a medicinal anything, like it's not good that they're putting you in a position to be like, and reasonable pricing. Commercially, when you get this stuff tested, though, it really is expensive. People don't realize it's $100 a test or 100. Like it sounds like that means the batch, but it's no. It's $600-700 now to get your stuff tested, and it's like, and then if you fail, then you have nothing to sell, and I don't know. It's a rough one, but
We send off like just in the hash department, like I mean, it could be depending on how many batches we do. If we do 10 batches a day, we're sending off 10 samples, and that's a grip of money.
yeah.
But
Sam, do you think that your time frame? So when is the actual, or how does this process like from start to finish for these guys? Can you break it down on kind of how this works and how they can get involved, or if they still can?
Yeah, definitely have room in all of the competitions. Plants will start going out like middle of this month through like July, depending on what state you're on in what breeder you're working with. And then you don't have to submit samples. We're pushing everything back to January 12th. Samples will be due. So that's plenty of time. If you're an indoor grower, you can do this like twice in that amount of time and then submit whichever sample you like the best. And then we'll do awards probably February of next year. And I might be bringing them back to Denver because
Ooh.
why not? Yeah.
I would love to see Denver have something cool like that again.
Yeah.
There's nothing cool here.
Nothing. Like Vegas. You're totally right. Vegas, though, I feel like when everybody goes that week, like it is good. It is good for attendance and getting people to participate. But I feel like at the same time, Vegas is just so busy and so expensive and so like I just think it eliminates a lot of people that that could have been there, in a state like Colorado or something. I feel like Vegas is just really can be extra.
So, I mean, and many of our growers were like, you don't have to do this at MJ Biz. I'm not here for that. So,
That's awesome.
yeah, and bringing something back to our home state would be awesome. All of my favorite like vendors are here. So, and maybe this city would even like pitch in to have something back here. Cause like we're the first to go rec. We should have something cool.
Yeah, we always get punished now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. It's sad. I don't really like to think about it because there was so many really great memories of being able to go to, a cannabis cup, and just be able to like, dude, you used to be able to like go hear a panel talk on whatever, and then and it was like people that you were reading about in High Times, and then you're like, holy crap, like I'm getting to listen to this, or getting to walk up to him and talk to him, like that's, it's awesome.
One thing I've noticed about Sam too is like she is at all the events and she is so involved in the community and like really you don't see a lot of females and I hate to say it like I don't know. It's like you just don't see a lot that are still like in the game even if they started in the past and like that have a good reputation and like I don't know. You really have seemed to like maintain such a good reputation in the industry and seem to know all the right people and be at all the right things. But it's incredible that you've built that. Like you've created
Oh,
that.
thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, so many of the folks that I met in, 2009 when I did the seed company, like my female mentors got like I can think of 5 that got totally screwed by their male partners and counterparts and just said, screw this, I'm out. Jake and I still run this by ourselves. Like we have no investors to answer to, and maybe that's why we've been able to sustain. But yeah, I mean, and I've started recently wearing the championship belt to events so that people will take me a little bit more seriously because they're like, what is that? You're not just some like little blonde girl running around. You have a big wrestling belt. Let's talk to you.
It's true. It's good.
Dang, that's the move. I think the wrestling belt's key. You got to have that with you everywhere.
That's why we made the award wearable. I tell people like wear it out. Oh shit.
I love that.
Dang.
But people are excited when they like come up and like you said, like when they really do see that on a little lady in the room, like it's I don't know, it does send a good message.
That's cool.
OG Tyler, I don't want to miss anything.
I'm trying to think.
Here, I want to catch this. I feel like y'all aren't excited about our national hemp grow off, but I want to get you excited for it.
Let's get excited.
Get excited. Let's
We
do it.
need excitement.
No, like hemp, we're all like I'm personally a THC person myself, so I've never smoked a craft smokable hemp strain. We're working with an amazing partner that breeds specifically for like high terpene, like super tasty and very like cannabinoid diverse hemp.
Ooh.
And suggests like, hey, if you have a THC strain that's too high that tastes like crap, like mix it with this strain that we're going to use in the national competition. So we're encouraging our THC growers to participate because you can do it from all 50 states. It's the first time we're able to have like a true national champion by numbers. Like I don't think I don't know of any other competition that's apples to apples. Everyone got the same thing nationwide. And we're aiming for 500 people. And if we have 500 sign up, then we'll do a cash prize. So it's $100 to do it. That includes testing. It's our cheapest competition. And I want all of our THC and hemp farmers to join so that we can learn a lot more about this plant.
Dope.
Ooh.
That's awesome.
You were right. I am pumped.
I'll get you one if you grow it on the show.
I would
Just have
love
it.
to. I would love to. We can have her place just right over here. Every time we can see her develop over time. I really would. I'm super interested in it because honestly, I get to the point where I smoke too much weed. Like I was just telling all my friends today, I was like, listen, I think I actually have to slow down. Like it's probably been like 10 years since I like quit smoking for like a couple months or something. And I was like, I can't keep, I don't know. When your tolerance or like flavor. So I think having something like hemp would be nice because I could still like do my routine and like maybe even get away from cigarettes and like these other bad habits. It's like doing that. But there's certain moments that you can't be high. Like it's really frustrating when you like go to see family or something for dinner and you're like, I'm just going to smoke so I can eat. And then you're like, oh my gosh, like I shouldn't have smoked that before I'm talking to my mom. Like it might, it would just be great to be able to smoke something that tastes delicious, is like cannabis, but keeps you.
All right. Well, I'm gonna get you one of those plants so you can grow it out on the show.
That's the nicest gift anybody has ever offered me. Thank you, Sam, so much. I feel
Pleasure.
I want to see this like these genetics this year, like how the grow off goes, but I want to see if we could start doing something as a lady community, really small. And I hate to say this, but like only have the women come to like a little event where we can compete amongst each other, and there's not this like pressure. And it sounds weird, but just I don't know, kind of like sports. Like I just want to kind of like go in a different direction and then have little meetings where we can all help each other with business. I think there's a lot of women that offer a lot of information, or could receive a little helpful tip here and there on like something.
Well, I saw you're selling clones now, so I did want to ask if you wanted to do something. Maybe this is the thing we do.
I would
I mean,
absolutely love to.
we just do it in Colorado. We have plenty of awesome ladies here, and just get that started. And I would just add that we would include like women identifying folks as well. But
Yes.
yeah, let's do it. I'm down with that.
What do you think?
Obviously, like you're really good with putting together events and things with cannabis events. Are you ever open to like if somebody has an idea and they want to come to you and say, hey, listen, like this bounce ideas off of you and say, hey, would this work, or are you interested in like running this thing or blah blah blah? Is that something you do, or do you just focus on solely the grow off?
OG Tyler, it's like you hung out with me today as I put together like portfolio of all the events I've done, because I am trying to do more of that for other people. So yes.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to be in touch with you because I've got a lot of ideas. So
Okay. I just toured a new space that I'm pretty stoked on too. And being in Colorado together is really fun, like easy to work with.
yeah. No,
Can
make
we
it
hear
happen.
like a little bit about the spot that you just toured? You don't have to like be specific in any way.
Oh, Highlands area, and it's like they renovated it but kept it old looking and like didn't
Ooh.
like whitewash it. Yeah.
Dope. Very dope. That's awesome.
I
Don't give them too. Don't give them too much. Don't give them too much.
That's like a bougie area.
No, that's awesome.
I also have a farm I've been dying to do an event on that just they grow vegetables, and it's the most beautiful like greenhouse vegetables I've ever seen. So I really want to do a farm to table thing with folks. It's outside, so anything goes.
That would be sick.
Yeah. So yeah,
No.
call me. Let's do.
We got
Oh, I will
We
for
got
sure. I definitely will. I'm gonna get your information and hit you up because I got lots of ideas.
That's so weird that you asked about that because I'm literally just starting this.
It's divine intervention. That's just the way that life works, and we'll make something happen though.
And a lady grow off. I can't believe all this is happening.
I think it would be so sweet.
I agree. Let's do it.
I love it. Thank you, Sam. See, I needed you. Thank you. And okay, I don't want to miss anything though either, where people can find you or people can participate in this. Like,
What's your social media handle?
We're at the Grow Off on everything and
Cool.
thegrowoff.com. You just got to have the in it.
Awesome.
THE. That's where you're supposed to say grow off.
Oh no, I didn't know that was a plan. So you can't.
Were we chanting? Was that just...
I was just trying to get excited. Well, okay, we're gonna put them in the description line of the show as well. And okay, Instagram, do you go for the same thing, Sam? If people want to talk to you or ask you any questions,
Yeah, and I run it. So you ask a question, I'll answer.
Sweet.
yes. All right, guys. Well, who is doing the grow off this year for Colorado? Did we touch on that?
Oh, I thought you were asking the audience.
Shoot, I was yeah.
Sorry.
We're breeder wise, we're chatting with Dark Horse, and then I also connected with. I saw you interviewed Diamond Seed Company.
Oh
Duke
yeah,
Diamond?
Oh, Duke Diamond. Yeah.
yeah, we loved it.
Yeah. I'm chatting. Apparently, Discord is where the chatting happens in this world now. So if you're not connected on Discord to some breeders, that's where you can find them.
Wow.
Discord is where it's at.
I've been on I've been on Telegram. I've been trying to talk to people on Telegram. That's
How's
another
that
one.
going? I'm not being sarcastic. I'm legitimately.
No, no, I mean,
I was like, how does Sam know you so well?
no, that's the people are trying to get off of Instagram because it's like they're like limit you, to so much. So,
Well, wait, who is the breeder with the terpy hemp? Sam, Mike Denver just asked that.
Who's the what? Huh?
The breeder that has the really good hemp.
Oh, Davis Hemp Farms.
where are they located?
They're in Oregon. And
Oh,
prior to the hemp bill, he went out and got licenses in every state. So he is like super established all over the country. And now he doesn't like need all those licenses that he got because of the farm bill. But he breeds specifically for terpene and cannabinoid diversity.
Wow, that's sick.
Yeah.
Well, we'll shout them because Sam shouted them out. We'll put them in the description key as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, like Sam said, everybody has to get behind the hemp and cannabis, THC wise. Yeah, you got to do both. This is the place to mingle and stingle. I feel like you got to come in and win.
Mingle and stingle.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you so much for coming on and talking and doing the thing and interacting with the folks.
Thank you two so much. This was super fun, and we have new ventures we're gonna do now. What more could you ask for on a Sunday night?
That's it, man. I mean, it's connection. It's a thing. It's the future.
Sam is sparkling. She's given us the sparkle that we needed.
Heck yeah.
Well, thank you so much again, Sam. I feel like I'm just going to give us a little outro and we can call it a night.
Thank you guys so much. This was awesome.
Thank you again.
Peace and love, Miss Sam. I'll talk to you soon.
Creative fun. No. know.